something I do very well, how to manipulate your basic blouse into a full blouse. Normally in a fashion school, the basic blouse is just from the normal neckline to the half length. It is, we have to manipulate this half length blouse into a full blouse, but we have found ways to draft the full blouse. But most times I have my half length blouse that I used from my fashion school, and I can just manipulate it to make a full blouse. So if you have your half blouse and you want to use it into a full blouse, you don't have to, like, maybe you don't have a drag from the full blouse, you can manipulate your half length blouse into a full blouse. I want to use this for a video, but I want to just teach you how you can manipulate. Then in another video you can join us to learn whatever I'll be using this manipulated full blouse for. Okay, so let's get right to it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get another paper. You need to place your front and the back on the paper. The paper, number one, has to meet your blouse length. So my blouse length is a 23, so that is what I have marked to make sure that this can meet a 23. So this is my 23 that I have ruled. The second thing you also consider when you're transferring is your hips. My hips is 42, into 2 is 21. So you have to be sure that this paper can meet the hip line. So this is my hip line and even a little more. So my hips is like a 44, so I need like a 22, so I have more than enough. Okay, so that's the thing. So you're going to pin your blouse. This is the front bodice and this is the back bodice. Now note that because of what I'm doing, I have my shoulder dart in the front. The style I want to use it for, I need the shoulder dart, so I did not eliminate it and I'm not closing it when I'm transferring. If I don't need it and I want to transfer, I will just simply, you know how to do it, fold it over and pin well before I trace. I've done lots of this in my previous video, so if you need to do that, you can check on the videos. You fold over and then you just trace like that. So you see the difference. When it's folded over, the armhole moves up, but because I need to use it, it stays like the armhole moves down. Then after I finish what we're doing, we'll still go back to the normal. So I'm leaving this shoulder dart because I need it. Now the back bodice, I have removed the shoulder dart. There's a little shoulder dart at the back. I have eliminated it. In fact, this is my middle point that I dotted on this blouse, but I don't need the shoulder dart. That's why I'm using the one that I have eliminated. I have the back bodice that has the shoulder dart, and I have this one that I have eliminated. So this is what I'll be using. Okay, so whatever you want to do, if you don't need the shoulder dart, closed over. If you need it, leave it open. If you need the shoulder dart at the back, leave it there. If you don't need it, you can close it, or you can work with what I'm doing. Okay, so that's I think those are the basic things you need to do. Also, pin your bodice to the new paper so that it doesn't move when you are working. And then the next thing you will do is to get your blouse length. Okay, so my blouse length was 23 and then I have drawn it out. So I go and do my 23. That's my blouse length. If I want it longer, I make it longer, but this is a draft. I'm just going to be leaving it 23. Now this side is a 23 and a half. I'm just going to be turning this side into a 23 and a half. I'm really thinking I should increase my blouse length to because I've added weight, so I feel my bust, once your bust pops more, it might make your blouse look shorter. So because I've added weight, I might just be changing this, but for today I'll just leave it at a 23.5. okay, so I rule my blouse length, and so the next thing I will do is to mark my hip line on the blouse length. So my hip is 42, into 2 is 21, into 4 is 10.5. So I'm going to do my blouse into 2, into 4. My hips into 4 is 10.5, and I add my half inch ease, so I have an 11. Yes. So I'm also going to go to the back. This back is not on a straight line, so I'm going to be ruling this straight line. I hope you can see. So I'm going to be ruling the straight line at the back so that I can get my straight line bodies. So if your paper is not ending on a good form like this, you roll the line. Just place your ruler, get the straight line and get your straight line. You need your center back to be straight. I'm not ruling the front because this front already aligns with the beginning of the paper. Okay, so the next thing I will be doing is also at the back. Whatever I got for the front, which was 11, I mark it from the center back. So my 11, which is my hips into 4 plus ease allowance, then I add it to this part. So once you have the both of them like that, you will just link it to your half length. Now I think this back body is bigger than my front body. This is 10.25, and so I'm sure I should be coming here. Now this draft is not the same with this are 2 different drafts, but I can still manipulate it. So I'm just going to be taking out the excess. I think this bodies was when I had it up, but I've dropped a little, so I'm just going to be erasing it like that. So this is where I'm working to. Then from here I will, from that point, just draw my line back to my hip line, and at the back too I draw it to my hip line. Okay, so just from that point all the way to my hip line. Okay, so another thing we also need to do is our darts. Yeah, we have to indicate our dart leg. So my dart leg, this is the first one here, then this is the second one here. Okay, so I indicate my dart legs on the bodies, and after that I'll be punching my darts. So the beginning of my darts, I'll punch it out from the inside so that I can know where to come to on the outside. So I punch it like that, and I punch it so well that it will reach the bodies of this place. So I know that this is my dart point at the beginning. Okay, I'm not sure I punched it, was I want to re-punch it. So okay, I'm correct. So this is my dart point beginning. So I've marked the legs on these bodies. Okay, the next thing to do is just to mark my dart spacing. So for this to this is a 5.75. That's that spacing. I also come here to mark it 5.75. I just mark it on this place. Okay, let me finish the back first, and after I mark it, I just go 1 inch up on it. So you can make your darts reach the end, or you don't have to make it reach the end. I'm going to do 1 inch above my hip line for my darts. So that being said, I draw my darts from 1 inch up that line, and then I do this. So it's just manipulating your half length blouse into a full blouse easily. Okay, so the next thing I will be doing is tracing out. That's cutting out of my bodies from this part. So the other parts, I'm done with it. I just cut. Okay, so you cut like that. I don't need to trace this time around. There's nothing inside, there's no dart. If there was the shoulder dart, that's when I will be tracing it. But since I don't have it, and don't forget that from here I'm just coming to this place. Okay, so that way I can remove the back, but I'm still going to leave it and continue my own. So I trace this all the way. This wasn't neat, so I'm going to just make it neat, and I'm going to leave this and go to the front. Okay, so for the front bodies, for the front bodies, we're also going to be doing the same thing, but a little bit different. Okay, so front bodies. Now you cannot see my darts because I traced it out. So this is just the line. It's a bustier blouse because of what I want to use it for. Okay, so the first thing I just need to do is I take my tracing wheel. I'm going to trace out again on this part. That's because I need. So if you don't know how to use the tracing wheel, you should get one. It is just 200 to 300 naira. It can help in transferring your data. It has this sharpie. You put your hand in the middle like this, and then you trace just whatever line you need. Just trace it out. It transfers onto transferring this dart from here onto the other paper. So this now, you don't have to, be working from, you don't have to be working all the time from the beginning again, going back and back and back and back. Okay, so I do that. Okay, so that being done, I'm also going to get the middle of this place. So this middle is 3.5. Now when I mean the middle of this, like I did for the back, the middle of the back was this angle, which is the middle of our dart legs. So I just measured it from here to here. Then for the front, I measured this is 3.5, the middle of the dart leg. 3.5. That 3.5, I'm going to bring it down to my blouse length and mark that part. And on that 3.5, I go 1 inch up to mark the beginning where my dart will end. Okay, so that being said, I can just draw my darts to meet this the traced part. Maybe you cannot see, but that's my I don't want to trace it out completely. I'm going to be tracing it on this new paper. Okay, so I do my darts firstly, and I think I can cut now, since I think I've interpreted all what I need. Okay, so my blouse ends. So all the way I just take my half bodies, I manipulate. Now another trick you can do is you can place 2 papers under here. If you need more than one, you just manipulate it and have different, like maybe two of it. So I do that when I'm tracing. Once I'm tracing out from one pattern, I just place 2 papers under it so that I can actually trace out 2. That way I won't go tracing that paper all the time. When you keep tracing over time, the paper tends to lose value. So I'm just cutting off all my excesses away from my blouse. Yes, so I'll cut the back too. So this will give you a perfect blouse, but you have to pay attention to all the things we talked about so that your blouse can come out perfectly. Okay, so just how to manipulate your half-length blouse into a full blouse. Some people buy patterns, so if you buy your patterns, they might give you a half bodice pattern, so you can just use this system to manipulate the half bodice pattern into a full bodice. Okay, so that being done, I have my front and my back bodies without much trouble. I take out my pins now. I pinned it down. Please, once you're doing this, always pin down so that your pattern does not move. Okay, so this is the back bodies, this is the front bodies. Okay, what I've just done is that I have this, whatever I want to use it for, or now because I need it for a full blouse, I transferred it onto a full blouse. Okay, so with that now, I will just go ahead to redraw my lines. Okay, so I'm going to complete this dart, since don't forget I marked the edge. I didn't do that for the front because the front is it's going to be a bust here, but the back is just the normal dart. Okay, so I have my dart, I have my waistline. Let me rule my waistline. So my waistline, if I wanted to rule it, I would have ruled it from before I removed the blouse, but it's all fine. You can just follow your dart leg to trace you to where the waistline is. So this is my waistline. I'm going to write it because I really need it. Waistline. This is my center back. This is my side back. This is my side back. We're going to be split. That's why I'm naming both center back, and this is my hem line or blouse length. I'm going to just say hem line or hip line, anyone you want to call it. Okay, so back to the front, I've traced my body, so I'm just going to use my biro to complete it. So you see my tracing, like I said, it's a bust there, so I'm just tracing this is my tracing wheel now, line that I'm following. The video cannot see the tracing wheel, that's why I'm just trying to use my biro to complete what I started for you. So that's just an easy way to turn your bodies into a full blouse. Now I want to use this for something else, but you can stay tuned. If you're subscribed, put on the notification bell so that you can learn what we're going to be doing with this. The trick is that I'm going to make a basque peplum blouse from this. So if you want to learn that, please stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.